Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools. In our session today, we are applying the distributive property to simplify our expression. And in this question, we are working with coefficients inside of our parentheses as well. So if you want to see how this is done, let's get started. So in our expression today that we are simplifying, we are working with coefficients inside of our parentheses. And having a coefficient just simply means that we have a number that is being multiplied to a variable. And that's how we get our coefficients. So let's begin with applying our distributive property. And for this question, I am going to work the parentheses at the side since this is the first question that we're actually solving with coefficients involved. So I will work this to the side. So we'll be distributing our 3 to our 4x. And in distributing our 3 to our 4x, that means that 3 is being multiplied to 4x. And we know that when we multiplied our constants to our variables, we just put those two terms together, and that's how our constant is changed to a coefficient. But in this case, where we have a coefficient, which is our 4, also attached to our variable, we're going to be working a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is write this out in expanded form so that you can see fully how or what this term actually means, because this simply means that we have 3 that's being multiplied to our 4 that's being multiplied to our x, because remember that 4x means that we have 4 times x. So what we'll be doing whenever there is a number or a constant and a coefficient involved is those two numbers will be multiplied together. So we multiply 3 times 4, which will give us 12, and then we'll have 12 being multiplied to x, which will equal to 12x. So that's how we are going to simplify our first part of our distribution. Now with our 3 being distributed to my 6, remember that we just have 3 times 6, which is going to be 18. So that 18 will be then attached to our 12x, and that will be our parentheses fully simplified. And as always, remember that as you develop your skills and you move further into learning how to simplify these expressions, remember that all of the working that I do at the side, you won't necessarily have to do that anymore because you will be at a skill or at a level that will require you to work beyond that step. Okay, so let's simplify our second parenthesis where we have 4, and in parentheses we have 3x plus 2. And again, just like before, remember that when 4 is distributed to our 3x, that means that we have 4 being multiplied to 3x. And we're going to take the same approach that we did before. 4 will be multiplied to 3, which will equal to 12. And then we'll just return our x, which is our variable. And then we're going to multiply our 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 will equal to 8. So we're going to have our 12x plus 8. And then we will plug that back into our question. Okay, so in distributing, just make sure that you do multiply your term outside the bracket to both parts of the question. And remember that if you have two terms in the brackets and as something can simplify, you should have two terms written back as well. All right, so let's continue on by simplifying our like and unlike terms. So we have 12x and 12x, and we know that 12 plus 12 will give us 24. And make sure that you return your variable of x back to your coefficient. And then we'll add our numbers of 18 and 8, and 18 plus 8 will equal to 26. Okay, so there you have it. We just simplified our expression using the distributive property when we have coefficients involved in our question. And as always, remember to always get additional practice in. Watch more videos on how to apply a distributive property when you have expressions involved, and make sure that you practice to develop your skills. And when you're ready to learn more about the distributive property, make sure that you return back to Joe's Math Tools, where we aim to make math easy.